Little black book, you know what time it is. Time it is. Time it is. Time it is. Time it is.
I would be done too, bro.
I'm tired of putting effort into people.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. Listen, oh man, it's sad, it's painful, it's heartbreaking, and this video is going to be heartbreaking too, because you see, I like to be consistent. When AD had her heart broken, y'all know how I went at AD, right? I said I felt for her, it was emotional, but I had to hold her accountable. I like Alan. He's in our chats as well all the time, and I appreciate him, you know, but I have to hold him accountable. Why am I going to say that? Because that's what I do on the channel. So it's not going to be a feel-good message. Okay, I want to be very, very honest and very, very frank before I allow other people to come on and share their thoughts about this episode. If you haven't seen this latest episode, then you need to probably click off this. But Alan, unfortunately, found out today on this episode that Madison had been lying to him and had been cheating on him pretty much up from the gym, right? I mean, they didn't tell us exactly the date or the time, but it's from the gym. Okay, and unfortunately, finding out this information, he was heartbroken, he was torn, he was sent to the gulag, and, you know, he found out from his boy that his boy wasn't his boy. It's a different type of betrayal. It's two types of betrayal. It's a betrayal of a friend. It's a betrayal of your partner as well. Okay. Now, this particular situation, I understand it from both perspectives. I've been cheated on. I've cheated. So I know what it looks like. And I know what it feels like. Being in Alan's shoes, I understand the humiliation. I understand the fear. I understand the anger. I understand the lack of trust you're going to have. I understand that you're now having to really think about the whole relationship. Was it all fake? You know, I mean, to be fair, she wasn't really affectionate anyway. But, you know, was it all fake? You know, you have to think about your whole worldview. Your whole reality has been torn apart, right? Your trust that you offered her has been thrown back into your face and, you know, and been stamped upon as well, right? You have to think about the gaslighting that went on between Madison and Alan. We have to think about the fact that there was lying. The fact that he gave her opportunity, like, hey, if you're not feeling me, if you're not wanting me, you can say it. And this is why I really feel for Adam, because I've actually said those exact same words. If you're not on it, leave it alone. You offer that person the exit, the route, the outing to say you can go, and they don't take it. And instead, they treat you like the bottom of your shoe, so it feels like. So yes, when you see this happening and I see Alan going through this, my heart does actually reach out for him. That moment when he was standing outside and he said, I just want to go home. I felt it. He wanted to go home, like, because you don't want to be in the same place as that woman who no longer is your woman. It's now a woman that has done this heartbreak to you. I totally understand this. You know what I mean? Like, I totally get it. I understand the frustrations and the pain. I understand that you're going to really look at the whole situation and be asking yourself some serious questions. Right? Because we haven't even spoken about the psychological warfare. And I think that's what really hurts the most. It's the psychological warfare that destroys people in cheating. It is the not knowing and then finding out and then going, actually, so wait, piecing the pieces of the puzzles together, piecing the pieces of the puzzle together and realizing that you probably did kind of know, but you didn't want to look at it that way. The psychological warfare of now you're starting to compare yourself to even probably David. No matter how you want to look at it, he probably does. As a human being, that's what we normally do, right? You've been broken in such a way, you now start comparing yourself to somebody else. That's painful. That's psychological warfare, that's psychological torment, right? Thinking about the fact that you now no longer can trust people because when they say something, and even if they do it, you're afraid that it could happen again, right? You could re-injure yourself again with those things. It's the humiliation. How many people actually knew, right? We know that Michelle kind of had an instinct, but, you know, you can't fight that person, you know, and everything. But it's like, you know, you're asking yourself, who knew? And why? And who? And in that space, you're asking yourself, are they laughing at me? Are they mocking me? What kind of conversations were David and Madison having? Right? Because David lets us know that, oh, Madison was talking about him all the time in a positive light, but you have to think to yourself, I wonder if she was saying crazy things about me. Now he starts thinking about the fact that he spent £3,000 or $3,000 on new clothing, right? I did that for you. I did the Invisalign for you. I changed things for you. I went to the gym for you. You requested these things and wanted to see a better me, and I appreciate that. But I did all those things then for nothing. But I'm going to tell you something. Like I told AD, you got to be accountable. I said the same thing to AD. I said, listen, when you were feeling intuition, when you were hearing things that were not connecting, you weren't holding that person accountable. And the reason why you weren't holding that person accountable is because you believe that if I didn't hold them accountable, maybe this can work. And the problem with that is that usually comes from a root place of not having as much self-worth that you actually need. I am not blaming you necessarily for the cheating, but you're going to have to hold yourself accountable. You see, sometimes what happens is when we date people, right, we have to realize our actual worth, and it changes the way that we actually operate in a relationship. See, if someone comes to that 3M, and I know this was Easton was kind of saying this, and a lot of people were pushing back, but he was actually telling some truth. See, when I was 18, young, 19, young, sorry. I think, no, let me tell you what, when I got betrayed. When I got betrayed and I got cheated on, I feel like, you know what I mean? When I really deeped it after the situation happened, I said, I have to get accountability. Here's why. Number one, I had to look at what my behaviors were in the actual relationship. One of the things I used to do was put that girl on a pedestal. That was a problem. That's a problem right there, right? And I'm not saying the person is free to go and cheat. I'm merely stating where I can learn and I can grow so that this doesn't happen to me again, or at least I can minimize the chance of this happening again. And I realized that. Number two, I realized that when I chose that person, right? When I chose that person, the person told me who they were in the beginning. They told me. And they were making excuses for when they had previously done this behavior last time. And I was like, well, okay, no. You know what I'm saying to you? Right? And so I had to be accountable in this situation. My intuition told me certain things were going on. Someone said intuition. My Holy Spirit was telling me that certain things were going on. I wanted to deny it. That's when I knew that I was lost. You see, when you see stuff and you don't want to acknowledge what is actually happening, then it's lost. Right? So I want to go back to Alan, because it's about Alan. You don't deserve to be cheated on. No one ever deserves to be cheated on. I don't think anybody should be deserved to be cheated on. I'm merely stating something that if you notice, 3,000 you were spent on a coat. You had to go and you put Invisalign in. You went to the gym, but you weren't doing this for you. You know that, right? See, the motivation is an energy that someone else can read. When you decided to do those things for her, not for yourself, do you know what happened? You actually conceded the ground. And actually what you said was, you are more important than I am. And whenever you do that, I just want to put an example. Who goes into a shop and they tell you this iPhone is only worth £100 or $100, and they're going to say, I'm going to pay 1,000. I'm going to pay what I believe it's worth. And if they tell me it's 100 and I have 100, I'm going to give 100. I'm not going to pay 1,000. Human beings are like that, right? So when you are dating somebody, the key thing is that there are things that happen to us psychologically that are undercurrents and things that can't necessarily be seen, where we're letting people know what we're actually worth. And so when you accept certain behaviors, you are telling the person, you are worth more than me, so do whatever you want to do. And I know that sounds wild, and I know some people have been cheated and might be triggered by that, and I understand it, but I want you to just deep the lesson we're trying to break this behind this. When I learned this, I realized, there are times where things happen and you don't want to say anything because you're afraid of how they're going to react, because you're actually afraid of losing them. You believe that they're better than you, even though you haven't said it. Your behavior shows that. And when you are afraid of losing them and thinking that they're better than you, they're going to treat you as such. So there is a level of behaviors that we need Alan to do. Now, again, I am not saying that, Alan, you deserve to be cheated. I want you to be very clear about this. You do not deserve to be cheated. Nobody does. I'm merely pointing out, just like I did with AD, again, once more, that you have to be accountable. When she was saying about, I'm going to give you a kiss on the cheek, and I know he brought it up, but then that's where you have to fight your corner. And you have to find a way of learning how to fight your corner assertively, not aggressively. Because when it came to the experts, they gaslighted you a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. The experts gaslighted you a little bit. The experts got to take some blame here. They gaslighted you a little bit. That triangulation was kind of mad. I can't lie to you, right? When you brought it up, when you went for the kiss, okay, when you went for the kiss and you realized that she was only gonna give you a kiss on the cheek, but then what happened after? You decided to concede more ground. Do you see how this works? Like if I'm already seeing that your energy is not really receptive to me, and then I keep doing more things to try and prove to you, because that's what I'm doing. That's what's showing the other person they don't know their value. Now, when I say this about women, you know, you know, I do get shot sometimes. But when you say about the men, especially in this situation, I know people are like, how can you say that? But look, we need to talk about this real, because it's political. It happens on both sides. People are literally, they're responding to the energy you give them. So if I'm mistreating you at the beginning and I keep doing more things, I'm telling you that I'm willing to take more things, and you are more worthy and more important than I am. And so therefore, keep doing the things you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Right? This is why nice never works. We want to be good. We don't want to be nice. Because nicety doesn't actually realize its worth. It tells you that I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I don't want to, rock the boat. I don't want to cause any issues. Right? Now, I've already spoken about Madison, so that's what we're dealing with Alan. So, Alan, I hope you take a lesson from this. I hope you've grown from this. It was a year ago. And I hope you take my message and not take it the wrong way. It is meant to be a place of enlightenment. That, you know what? When you want to wear your pants, wear your goddamn pants. You want to wear that hat you like? Wear your goddamn hat. Sorry, Lord, I'm saying your name goddamn, and I shouldn't be saying that. But Lord, just wear the hat you want to wear. You want that Jaguar? Drive the Jaguar. You want that fur coat? You put that fur coat on. And you love it. Because the person's going to love you because you love it. Whenever you're changing yourself for other people, they're not going to love you because they don't even love themselves half the time. That's why they're making you change. If they really wanted you, you wouldn't be changing. Not in this particular way anyway. Right? So now, let me tell you who you're really angry at. It's not Madison. It's yourself. Because remember, when this happened to me, I realized I'm angry at myself. Why? Because I knew better. Instinctively. And my final point is, you know better, so do better. So now, do not betray yourself in the future. If you like that thing, you like that thing. If you want it that way, you want it that way. If you're going left, you're going left. You're not switching it. If that's what you want to do, that's what you do. When men don't honor their own boundaries, I mean, this happens to women too, but I'm just about men in general. If you don't honor your own boundaries, if you don't respect your own boundaries, how can I respect yours? How can I respect yours? I can never do that. So the reality situation is, Alan, lesson to learn. I pray you're never in this situation again. And also, you listen, as you take these upgrades that she has given, because the clothes were on point, I ain't gonna lie to you. The clothes were on point. That was a nice little upgrade. But still, I'm gonna say this: love what you love. If you love it, they gotta love it. Right? If they love it, they love it. Let me tell you, someone told me one day, and this is my final word. Someone told me one day, listen, I remember, and it's going to sound a little bit mad, but it just made me, it's just a little point. I remember a situation, because during, okay, forgive me, permit me to say this, because I don't, I'm Christian, I'm trying to tell the Lord, and I don't know what to judge me, okay? All right? But you're going to judge me anyway. But anyway, listen, during obviously intercourse, I sweat a lot. I sweat, because I'm working hard, okay? So I'm sweating. Okay, now something happened. I had a little bit of insecurity about it. I was like, I'm sweating loads. I've always got a flannel with me, always, just in case. I've got to wipe that sweat off. You know what I mean? I don't want to be sweating on you. You know what I mean? Makes me feel a little bit bad, right? And after a while, I said, I don't give a heck. I'm a sweat. You gonna like this sweat, right? I'm just telling you a story. Just make it pointy where I'm going. Okay. One day, I was doing my thing, and the girl said to me, I don't know what it is, I just love the fact you sweat. I said, oh my God, there it is. Why am I saying this? I want you to understand something. When someone likes you, they love everything about you. You know what I'm saying to you? I'm using that story as a crazy story, but I'm saying the actual reason is that you think it's something that you shouldn't like, but the person loves that about you. Because when they actually like you, they like those parts of you. You know what I'm saying to you? Person said, listen, it's even a thing that turns the person on. Deep it. But if I were like, no, I don't, no, what is it, sweat? And I'm scared now. And everything I'm doing is now trying to, because I'm afraid of what your reaction is going to be, rather than just be myself.
You know what time it is.